the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Yebusiafo NPP for edin komo na womo echese eye Kennedy akomprekum a Japan sene Ghana for enim no dada no Kennedy wonsesan me wotia na jese wotie se wonim Kennedy se wono de o kire na adwene e obibia ho ana se wonim Kennedy se wono de o padidi atem ana wo kan boso asem e de kire nipa na se officer Kennedy akomprekum a Japan with that attitude no and also with that behavior no Kennedy any fit to be the flag bearer of NPP and also to be the president of Ghana abusuafo enye ne wo hon ba bia obeto waba ediako na NPP for the Nsem-Pii na kese atudwa ewo aye Kennedy akompreku a Japan ene Dr. Bawumia wo mo flag bearer and just wo mo epeno wo mo the Nsem-Pii atudwa edi afa wo mo na empanyimfo kire se Kennedy akompreku Japan sani nim no ewo de wo ye ene ni businesses a na kese Kennedy no seye do man na na obetimi ai edo man na ye business ama nkese timamufo no obi abanya adwuma aye sanso na Dr. Bawumia NPP fo na sa kire se Bawumia enya chance brebia na kese oni akufo do ade ye adwuma asom oman no animu timamufo na ye hunu mfaso kakra ewo mo so eno nsu Ganafo ye hwa na se beto abade ama Bawumia ne ato abade ama no na ye hwe ken so dia ne ato aba ade ama ken na ken no on sign the otia na just otie momenti eye NPP for nsema wo mu
ni bi ho no ma aya na ne ka no yesan se ye wa mamre ne amane enti no aya na eye asefem se wo beti se bi ani panic so ka say let him be, you know, who he is and then express it, whatever he wants to say unyi say no so mueden
unim say Ken the candidate when you are going to sell him, nobody is focusing on what he can do for the state, but people are only focusing on a certain picture they've given him, a certain lifestyle that he is. And I'm coming there before you are even usually by the time you even tell them what Ken can do, say 1 hour interview, move 45 minutes defending him. But I mean it's good. That's my job.
Do you see that? So say no idea and ka once nipa de wo ho no ma you do self introspection ka say idea we die me hu yanka nka manye
it's because say yes my muhan you define a certain template of who a presidential candidate should be
okay.
And who a presidential material should be nti nipa ni bi wo ho so one is never be so one but you nipa so mo say the rolling style can say a trust wa kebema discipline and no my that by mu I say galamsi asema yake it has more to do with enforcement now no na me call station back and I say I don't think we can win the fight. I don't say the basic enforcement like road safety enforcement, sanitation, procurement laws, engineering enforcement galamsi na betimi something which is so lucrative and the person say what's work asemo but that is just by the way the point I make is yeah we are not selling a spotless candidate to Ghana.
Okay.
Yenka say Ken or ye bofo for so no. That's not what we are saying. A spotless candidate there, I say kofa Yesu Christo na ankasa. No aba the leader of the NPP. But we are saying say Ken or strengths or also shortcoming just like any other human being. Me tiwe ma sorry amekono. Ebi amesofo be hu me bi me twabi blue kills na me ya de. O so o twabi. But be minim the oye day oye what them. But me say a bona man say a bad nyame ho kitangudi ene nyame asem ka on na day or nim eyo na beka ho asem ache. If you look at the candidates contesting and the other candidates I don't know where Ghanaians had this whole template of he is humble. What has humility got to do with being a president? We are not saying say conform moye humble to being a president too. But we are almost now building a system. All you need to do is pretend that you are humble. And automatically you become where your brain wants you.
So you see it as a pretense.
I mean the point I'm saying is that if you're also not very careful, you may get weak people who may be then branded as humble. What I say?
Nipa na humble now means that we're very accommodating.
Now also the case nipa so firm the person cannot be accommodating. But if I was made to land that, the point I was making is our strengths, our shortcomings.
Okay.
If you look at some of the other candidates, they also have strengths and they also have shortcomings. One of them whose name I mean Besame Betu Jano. Yes, you're humble. I've also seen people criticize him say, "Oh, you're a weak candidate."
Wait, why?
Oh,
why are some now okay?
Oh, Mr. Candidate, maybe. Oh, yeah, I'm not.
I'm watch this. I want to mean
Every care some okay. To that, Mr. Panic couldn't have been for set as a banana room. We also take feedback from you. And I came for the generator, and I won't say there has been any outburst. And also, Tidia most more kind of say,
and no, so no, I've been coming per se, me boy about the honor of Nabani. They say, and you're not, what's it, Brawase. Na yemfa enje to me sana wo yana because they was guys from January till date and say na no asemo no knowing very well who honorable Kennedy Japan.
There is a pending question let me answer the pending question let me wait that to
because of that in I must say no what brain no one okay.
So like I said, we are not selling a spotless candidate, but the I can say there are a lot of character traits, say a heavy character traits, obetima boy as of mine than anything. Because our rich ideas and yes, we will a dream poor, we see a person some mine. One, if you don't win power, rich ideas in academy, a back campus. Until you will be a could do for. Obia, easy in 72 hours will be declared election. Now within 24 hours was one the Makwaja. There be no Johnny NPP near Denina. That's not how Ken will do. Here Bemo Yoko could do for 2028 to bet him in DC for a CNE. Here will be a Ghana for a Jenny Tombs or cow or yo, or Moji with him, or Castle baby and you more baby, and Pano Makotra Banade, Amano. Now to your substantive question here, Obizai. You see, Ken has not changed. Ken is still Ken. But you are also dealing with human beings. Obasuminipa. And at some point, there also have to be a balance. So one must say no more pa. Also you have to also meet them halfway. And be a same being in a cano. So there was a kind and caneno. So never catch us away Jimmy. This time one can say be away Jimmy. Because say oh, unyan say a day or form. And it has more to do with style. But in terms of the character traits, in
the same original.
No, he's Ken. He is Ken. And that's what I said. The end. I said, you see. Ken is loved by two things. One, no credit oka and an akukudru. What I say? In this if Ken is going to change that Ken so Echo Fan Walabo or oh Ken no, that's not Ken. He is still the Ken that we know. Just say the Momusi Kano, a nipa no obesum. You see, when you're him for Casa, near 2 for a beer as Messia Nobente, a power, a power star, and a power. Nanso, my muhana, a beer Casanibo about phone kakra. That is also the hallmark and a trademark of also a listening leader. The next change now by your who say can any pan about some now come I be enough when you're to me now.
What so do you to me enough was I cannot
no not being your but in a different style.
In a different style. Okay, into what modernizing in a way.
Me say what he's taking feedback from Ghanaians. Say Ghana for no so
okay, so Ghana for be canon out.
The bigger problem is saying kind of crunch your party for.
Okay.
You quite near catch almost say Muba Munya Jumano Muba certificate as MBA day anyhow. But you see, before we catch a certificate as MBA anyhow, you must be then willing to create non-certificate jobs. Okabucha cleaning no money at the Obi and the certificate here day. To say farming as there could be an aspect of farming within the chain, production. And even the supply chain and require certification. What I say?
Okay.
Yeah, jobs and require certification. So the person will still be paid a year then sabede ebekonano. But yeah, quite a catch almost oh, when you do buy a certificate bia. But let's ask ourselves. The panel our uncles would never and answer would never the lawyer. Like Oboko Kukunko for our hospital. So we must be very honest to our people and tell them say we'll create two kinds of jobs. Jobs for certificate holders and jobs for non-certificate holders. And that's what Ken is coming to do.
Okay.
The 1 year, farming and some year, the kind. But also, yeah, or say, we share maybe to say the religious and faith-based group now. Nipa Mosompa, sorry, and so for assembly. And on their job, the religious institutions, these churches. Okwa churches are. Ugugu is here, Ghana, over 100,000 denominations. What I say? denominations and we Presby, we one man churches need be close to 100,000, over 100,000 of them. Now, Oba Mimi Krumu Domi, Asanta Domi Abra, Mimi Free. Oba, your Presby, your Romai, your Pentecost, your Assemblies of God, your Methodist, your Anglican, sorry, be brave. Assuming, say, Domen Quanum, your sorry, Makuma 15 and a day, or the plus one Manchester, say, 20 churches. Now, can say, and also, Oba fat our real stronko in Kitahudi stronko between Abino. Any these religious institutions, even mocks on the other account.
Okay.
Now, almost a partner to also do businesses.
Almost the farming, not
necessarily a farming, but also by your entrepreneur, say, because we have a bit of Pentecost. Almost the church already have the basic logistics, like Tsebia and Sase, offices. They already have the leadership already. Instead, I want to show myself. Maybe Krum say, Presby for so. Omutwensu eton.
Oh, okay.
I want to say in a month be omo be 10-15,000. So mo ebu we na.
Okay.
But I want to say if the Presby church can recruit 10 people, it could even be more. Because one more be machine ho fa na say be ni pa be 9. Obenya be 9 on be de e be park. Your driver. Your almost be park gu car nim.
It is an obey investing in already existing businesses now.
Every church will own a business. Every faith-based institution will own it, including the mosques. Every faith-based institution will own a business. And that is the collaboration and partnership between the faith-based groups and the government. Because coming when say faith-based group, more they are say they be more sorry. Assuming say more sorry. Now sorry be organ be could be all them dominate American. You can't churches the already established one man in 20.
That's so
20 people. Domi alone has recruited 400 people.
Okay.
Into job creation.
So this we nya kwenya na de obeye no.
Yes.
For no say no musi esomofa. Resonating well with them one saying.
Oh, grassroots for no. One more e wo gidi o kan mu.
Okay.
Na wo hwe na na buy ekoto ye na our performance was not good. So, in the Omun name, says, I can't get the by a bed the other day. Am I?
Son or more.
Oh, yes. Said last election, I got to you. We had 276 constituencies, sir. A Mube 199 constituencies here, you didn't do. Almost to tier presidential candidate. Osha, there were 7 regions where a presidential candidate when we need one constituency cry. Yeah, Nipa close to 400,000, more than 345,000. At my parliamentary candidates, to tier a presidential candidate. The imagine say 345,000 plus a bar post to tier to my parliamentary, to tier presidential. How many more na on Baba to claim presidential and the party in the pieces or Mameto? There could be many more.
But some analysis here will make it. Obaka say because of the presidential candidates, in the majority of the MPs, and so Lucy Omisitana.
Oh, I mean that one. And I make say. The data does not lie. The analysis may be subjective or different. But if people walk to the polls, they more 345,000 plus a buy. One more to my own in the history of Ghana since 92. I believe I heard the nominal value, sir. Presidential candidate no votes a doors of Senate, parliamentary no combine. But for the first time in their history, parliamentary ni mum evo square day Ecuador so Senate presidential. Dinko for kwa toma ye parliamentary no mu wi no to tia ye presidential. Ndi wo hwa then people will tell you say people even preferred our presidential candidates to our parliamentary candidate to our presidential candidate. But that is not the point. The point I am making is with our performance in the last election, we were about 9 regions or her. Cumulatively, we are looking at 98 parliamentary seats. Nsem-Pii of 5 and then this one 93. There are 4 regions where you need 1 parliamentary rep. A day in the fish so a better see by your home ama by your market. A day and NPP a year.
Now, when Jane did say for the past 8 years, no, a mamono so a kahona, a binum. Every change of government be a memo kahon and a change government, but we've never witnessed this defeat ever in our history. With about 2.1 million people refusing to come and vote, about 1.7 million people voting against 1.7 million vote difference. And he also said that people were not ready for a presidential candidate.
but medika kwesi say medika kwesi say mpenfo kwa say ensuo eche etuo mo yede eyihwa ye presidential candidate bi kwa normally bi ohanyo na ye but who say we penny na assemble there we dey you ntimi nyu hu fremo I said dollar yasama yake NDC for 1:4 oba ene kuya se covid o se nya covid o 4 to 17 uka manfo ne nyade enyindi in such a case na wo da no economic management team they will punish you for that. Okay. DDEP enya wana bia wo ye nhihye no but we there as far as now your vice no untimi nyu hu nyade emfrim
eni ese lawyer se wo hwɛ sa analysis ne dia na wo de so mo ne bo ne bebe se bia enunti anase bia Ghana for ese wo mo mpena na eye bufuo mum na ahye wo mum hu ne sa.
No, but the bufuo no, how do you separate the candidate from the party's unfortunate woes? For instance, say because a NAPCO be 2 years and in film, okay, over 100,000 people in film, okay. How do you then say at the paper be your party no? Now vice president can home, but the end and the no can home. As you Ghana card, as one mobile money interoperability, as one if you na no support o do tamping na and where be when he gate okay so see gate so on and the other na at papa there it will be so nice say emfansham na be there a chia na santre there people cannot hold him liable for it. We are not saying say aban no eho ahinya dey enka ho aban no ho ahika ho but enya no so kra so nti na ye better say na say aban no ho ahina ye the same aban na the buy you and after 4 years obon kai say same aban na. If the logic is say aban no ho ahinti na nkofo e dey ya akoto ye dia then it is better to bring obia na memfa na say won hold any key position or the aban mu enso nie eboa na wo we mu mpanifo na ebu be wono mo say enso kra no echa etuo mo ye dey eyihwa minim say specialization mu 30 years ko enyi but mpanifo na kai wono say enso kra echa etuo mo ye dey eyihwa ndi after be 16 years nipa no bi anya kwanya asom party no ehunu say why dey obeye bia wada party for ase wada Ghana for ase no obi so ayedai abeto aso so yesi bedi akoni din fata na fata na akono nyankwankwa nwa ase na wokona afei wukọ election na I mean the worst defeat ever and the book also second chance be wo hwe abako semu a Professor Dubois henya 1.2 million one Rollins mewa eso kwa ya mfana nkobio ana kofo ba ya de ko 2.8 million na NPP no wono mo a second chance e mo makonya ko bia ye obi a okwa watime a kire se ye vote enyan na previous election no wono etimi di be ye de be ka ho Professor Dubois he bre kra one kofo one Rollins ko ya sabe 92 no transition aba from military era aba constitutional rule asabre momo no mo ho 92 omani afia no mo ye omo se abakora etu ne tubi o pig ballot boxes ebu e de jude bag be fa se ne amomo na soja fa be fa enum pokura no Professor Dubois he lose 1.1 million votes difference and akofo so buy kofo de ko 2.8 omo so ya to akofo so ya to akofo do sade na entwa ya former vice president so but do kofo demonstrated say obetimi di vote ni bia bede abeka ho but the Professor Dubois he dey any free 1.2 million at the call 2.8 so he hwa for the first time also be fa for 2.8 no e call 4.5 kofo kra free office no in 2024 election kofo call or the 4.5 na if you ho akufo so dey be call 4.5 into we akufo quite the first time against Professor Mills we win by 100,000 votes difference. He won the first round until say a quarter time near here be 0.24 anya dey anyi nti akufo de baya no de be 6.7 million dey ejawo na wo te so ba for
nti net is only be the count na asama ye ke go say we are speaking in parables meaning say former vice president one Fabian count on deserve second chance to on deserve second chance
so akufo de be 6.7 million the no or the bar 4.16 and if you are so better 33%.
Nti me say because of that in no on deserve second chance na
maybe me kan article bi say one Dr. Kurugube also we nyai campaign against Dr. Bawumia say because of Mampusini and I'm saying oh when akasa I mean let's state it for emphasis sake at the country me as former vice president and Trump say mo infa Ken man and say the performance I was demonstrating in the last election wanyade wo hwe NPP abako sema ye to akofo so because mpanifo say amfa na ede e chene nto aso because obon homode ye to akofo ado so che say o de kofo de na ede e ko so but we Dr. Bawumia akofo ado vote ko de jan nationally what is 33%. Okay, the southern belts are predominated by accounts. Accounts are more aligned to the NPP. Also, 31%. If you make us, if you are the 5 northern regions, they be all yard or say what they be who are no free until the Krum for tomorrow. Also, what is about 16%. How then do you say?
It is the American say, we know a year, I did be a China for Miami, Africa. And a man penny, Ako. Na wako express say at least as Ghana no ye pebi enti no on say reset no enset reset no enyan set ye enti ade kitwe bi a ye benya be news no na ya project na ya yen ene say ya ma ye kwan ya ma ya kwanya say ye de niema kwa e zero tariff. What measures are we putting in place? In say be ne ye Ghana ha ye betimi e dey produce niema ye de beko. Mo buy 1D1F mo ba begu no. Mo say mo dey 24-hour economy eba. Aka nkrata so. Say sa akwanya abeda ho ama Africa ni Ghana ka ho bie no. Kwan ben so na ye Ghana fo betimi benefit. Enso nkan hye ye de ba 1D1F fo. Mo buy ye na mo beto aso na mo gusu produce ni ade a enke na ye wo niema ye de ekọ. Na sa niema no etimi aboa.
Na when the one for na dia na mo produce enti o mo buy o ma begu no.
Abra bisam sa asemi ya na ya kamu kakra.
Ade.
Because one day man
no wa chire mo niema we bo mo buy ye they say no nyina na enko ho no me
sense. Niema na ye produce ye bebre.